Welcome back to Newsmax Now. A reminder that we are taking your calls. The number is 877-NEWSMAX. That's 877-639-7629. Well, contributions to the NRA's PAC tripled last month. That following the February 14th mass shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. The Federal Election Commission show that donations to the NRA's Political Victory Fund rose from $248,000 in January to more than $779,000 in February in individual contributions. I'm still joined by Tom Borelli and Bren Herrera. So, Tom, what does this indicate to you in the bigger picture of how the country feels about gun control?
Well, I think the country very strongly supports the Second Amendment, and that hasn't changed. And I think that's been so ever since the country's been founded, since the Constitution was adopted. And the more, the political left tries to politicize a tragedy, the more everyday hardworking Americans are going to deep down into their pockets and their purses and donate to the NRA, because the worst thing the Democrats could do, which they are doing, is they're making the Second Amendment a political debate. Midterm elections always have trouble with turnout with the party in power, but I can't think of anything that will drive people to the polls than to talk about repealing or changing the Second Amendment, which you've heard a retired Supreme Court justice talk about. So I think this is really a great discussion for those who really care about the Constitution and really care about the Second Amendment, and people are actually using their hard-earned dollars to support it.
Yeah. Of course, on the flip side, Bren, March for Our Lives rallies drew very solid numbers over the weekend. There have been something like 50-mile marches in some states. In Wisconsin, marching to Paul Ryan's house. I mean, is this the most divisive that it has ever been regarding this issue? And which side is really winning the debate for hearts and minds, in your view?
I don't know that this is so much a matter of which side is winning. I think that we only have losers here, and those are the children that are dying at the hands of these guns, the adults that are dying at the hands of these perpetrators that have mental disabilities and mental issues that we're not really addressing. So I'm going to agree with Tom in that the majority of Americans want to protect the Second Amendment. I would like to think that I can go to bed at night thinking that if I want to carry an arm, I'm free to do so. I have family members that carry guns. I have very close friends that carry guns and hold guns in their homes. So I'm not about the government telling me that I can't carry one. The issue is that when you have the NRA deep in the pockets of these congressmen and lawmakers that are running for re-election, and they're lobbying hardcore the NRA and groups that support the gun controls, we have a problem, because that's going to affect what happens in the House, in the Senate, and ultimately in these communities. And that's where the conversation is not really being directed to. I think that's where the problem really lies. It's not about stripping, Americans of our due rights under the Constitution. It's about who is funding these organizations that are placing guns so freely in the hands of people who don't have any business carrying them.
All right. Well, obviously, a lot of debate there that will continue. Another story, somewhat related, that I'd like to discuss is that of this woman, Noor Salman. She's the widow of the Pulse nightclub shooter, Omar Mateen. She is accused of helping her husband in the attack that killed 49 people in 2016. Closing arguments were yesterday. It was revealed that Mateen intended to attack Disney at first. It's Disney World in Orlando. Here's something Glenn Beck tweeted this morning. He said, "The story of the week, Disney was #1 target, not Pulse nightclub of Islamic killer. He went, saw armed police security and left. His third choice was Pulse. Nothing to do with LGBT. Tribal justice must end. Reason and facts must guide us. #Pulse." Of course, this is I'm just wondering, okay, what was his second target? But Tom, what are your thoughts on this recent revelation?
Well, I think that revelation really points to why we need armed guards at schools and allow teachers to carry. Because a criminal is not stupid. They're going to go to the softest target. And when you have a gun-free zone, that is an absolutely soft target. We saw what happened in Maryland when this one kid went in and tragically shot this girl and wounded another individual. But there was an armed guard there and took him out. That sends the message. There should be no soft targets. Disney was determined not to be a soft target, but this nightclub was. That should be the lesson. So that's based on facts and reason.
All right, Bren, go ahead.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to are you proposing that you arm every employee at Disney or the movie theater or the churches? Are you proposing that? Because that's where these accidents are happening.
You're twisting my words, ma'am. That's fine. No,
I'm not taking the. I'm not. No,
You're
I'm asking.
going
I'm
to the
asking you a question.
extreme,
Are
which
you
is normally the
proposing?
left debate
No, I'm
tactic.
asking you a question based on what you just said. You
My
said
answer
that
to
you
your-
are for
my-
teachers being armed.
My
So are you
answer to
proposing that employees of Disney and nightclubs and every possible venue where there are people that can come in and be shot, are you proposing that everybody be armed? That would become literally a militia state. Are you
I
proposing
believe there
that,
should be
Tom?
no soft targets, including my home and your home. Number one,
I agree,
and I
but we
believe
have to get
teachers,
to
if
the
they
issue,
want,
and that
if
is
they
getting-
want, if you let me speak, ma'am, if teachers want to arm themselves, that should be allowed. That will make a school zone not a free target, soft target, which it is now. What have we learned from what we just saw from the last news story? He went to the soft target. Therefore, we should not have soft targets.
Right.
If teachers want to arm themselves, let them do it. Let them get their training.
He shouldn't have had the gun
Well,
to begin
and-
with, so we wouldn't have had a top
Well, the
target. We would not have
FBI,
had a
listen,
soft
the other
target
part
in
of this
them.
debate that's most
Okay.
important is the FBI has dropped the ball on this and other matters. How come they're not protesting at the FBI
Right, so
headquarters?
let's talk about let's then talk about the FBI dropping the
Right.
ball and not about arming these teachers who have come out loud and clear and said we do not want to carry guns.
Every teacher
They're already
said that,
under
ma'am?
stress and duress when they have an attacker come in. No, but a large part of the teachers have come out and said
You
as
only
much.
need,
and I don't think that if you
don't need
Okay.
every teacher.
All right,
only those that want to.
I love, and I know that Americans love both of your passion because it reflects the fact that there is a lot of disagreement and passion and real passion on both sides of this issue because it's serious. Debate will continue to go forward, and hopefully it will go on in Congress as well, because no matter what you believe, people do want some kind of legislative action, whether it's to further protect gun rights or to make sure that there is some kind of common sense gun control. So we will keep debating that here because it's important to our audience and obviously important to Americans. So stay with us. We're going to hit some more news after the break.